welcome back to our style series. Today we have the gorgeous Niamh Cullen.
Hello.
She is content creator, fitness influencer and podcaster. So happy to have you today.
Thanks so much for having me. That was such a long-winded way of saying what I do, but it's true. That's what I am.
Love your fashion, love your style, but can you give us a rundown of your look today?
So I wish I had dressed a little bit better now. I just bought a house, so all my stuff is in boxes, so I just pulled out like the quickest thing that I could find. So I'm wearing the Mantra. What are these gorgeous things called?
They're the Jamie
sandals.
Jamies.
I'm wearing the Jamie sandals. My fella's Jamie, so we love the Jamies. My fiance, I should say. And this is actually a little kind of play suit, but it has shorts underneath.
Love.
So
very
handy.
Practical.
Very practical. So that's from Bershka. This is from H&M, and then I have my gorgeous. Well, I'm just wearing the gorgeous Mantra sunnies.
Yeah, you're getting married.
I am.
Can you tell us a little bit about the planning?
Of course.
Yeah.
So we've 100 days to go, or is it 110? I don't know, you know, like on the countdown, I have people RSVPing at the moment, and a countdown comes up for them. So my friends screenshot the countdown. I think it's 100 days or 110. It's in November, early November in Rome, Italy.
So nice.
I know. So I'm a bit of a planner. I'm going into like my 8th bridesmaid's dress. So I kind of know the run around of like weddings and kind of planning. So I'm actually kind of planning the wedding myself, but I have a wedding coordinator over there.
For the day?
For the day,
yeah,
thank
lovely.
God, yeah, because I couldn't be stressing or whatever. So Temu, Pinterest, Amazon are all been my best friends, you know, getting ideas, picking up little things. And I totally recommend anyone that's getting married, Amazon and Temu. They've the most incredible things.
So you're planning your wedding, but have you planned your outfit? Have you got your dress? Can you give us any hints?
Of course. So I'm having, I wouldn't say a disaster with my wedding dress right now. So I haven't tried my wedding dress on.
I've actually heard this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my wedding dress is paid for, all ready to go. Well, it was ready to go, but it's sitting in LA. There was like a few finishing things that needed to happen. And my friend was meant to go over stateside in 2 weeks to pick it up because he was going over for work. It's not going to be ready for then.
Okay.
So I had a bit of a panic. And it's going to be ready for mid-August. And I think I'm going to get it shipped to New York to one of my friends to bring it home.
Okay, yeah.
But yes,
sounds a bit safer.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Is there anything that you're really looking forward to on the day of your wedding?
I just can't wait to have all my favourite people in one room. And it was really sweet. Like over the weekend, me and my friends were saying, oh, you and Jamie as a couple, you're all about bringing people together. And that kind of stayed with us. And I was like, that's so true. That's all we want on our wedding. Like, obviously, we can't wait to have the best time ever. But me and Jamie would have a ball anyway, you know? So we're just so excited to have all of our favourite people, like, in one room. And we're actually doing, like, a 3-day wedding. So we're going to have our welcome party, our day of, and the day 2. And we're so excited just to have everyone there.
Yeah.
Like, all of our favourite people in one room, family and friends.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most important thing about having a wedding, isn't it? Have you got your shoes and your bag and everything all sorted, or?
So it's so funny, a lot of people have been asking me and assuming that I'm just going to get, you know, the Jimmy shoe or like, you know, the Manolo Blahniks. And I've decided against, like, not against, but like, I've just decided not to get a pair of designer shoes because I am a messer and I don't think a pair of Jimmy shoe belong on my feet unless I was going to, like, you know, the Met Gala for a day or like for an hour to stand there and leave.
But
like,
that's it, you're literally only wearing them for a day and it's so expensive
so expensive. And then I wouldn't like to say feral, but like with a few drinks on me running around, I just don't want to be thinking about with Jimmy shoes on my feet because I would be and I'd be conscious of them. So although I do want a really nice pair of shoes, with that said,
of course.
I wanted shoes that are really comfortable. I didn't want to be, I don't know why, obviously it has to be done. People have to put a pair of flats on at some stage.
Yeah.
You know the way like back in the day you used to see people putting pearls on their shoes and all a pair of runners. I was like, no, not doing that. I'd love to stay in a pair of heels. So there's one pair of heels that I'll probably take to the grave with me. They're the most comfortable pair of shoes ever. And I actually reached out to Siobhan and Terry, who are the founders of Mantra. I was like, any chance the Farah heels can come in like a lovely ivy or cream? She was like, yeah, they're on the way. I was like, oh, perfect. I want them as my wedding shoes.
Oh my God.
Because they are just, I don't know if any of you have put on the Farahs.
Yeah, I love them.
And have you wore them all night?
Yeah, they're so comfortable,
They
aren't
are so comfortable. There was one point I think I wore them for 10 hours and I was fine.
Yeah, no,
Like-
I actually wore them as well. Like I have them in the black.
So do I.
Because they're obviously like super handy to throw on with anything.
Yeah.
But like that, like people ask me, are they comfortable? Because they look
Yeah.
quite like high, and they look.
Yeah, they do, and that's what I love about them.
Yeah,
But they're
'cause
really
they look
comfortable.
really sleek and sexy, but you wouldn't think that they're extremely comfortable as
Yeah.
well. Oh, that's so nice to
know.
hear. Yeah, they'd be so nice in that colour. I can't wait to see. So yeah, tell me a little bit about your style. So has it evolved over the years?
It definitely has evolved from when I was like 21, and I used to, like, the things I used to do, and I still kind of do them, like, I've always had a bit of a touch of, I don't know what I'd say, my style's always been a bit funky or like a bit edgy, I don't know, but there's times where I used to like cut like the bum out of a pair of tights and create them into like a really cool top. It was like this really cool leopard print. Couldn't believe I cut a hole in a pair of Topshop tights at the time.
Yeah,
Topshop was expensive back then, but I just loved the type of print that it was, and I cut it into, you know, with the hand thing, and I wore it like, I think over like with a little blazer, and everyone's like, oh my God, that's so cool. I was like, yeah, it's a pair of tights.
Yeah.
So I've always been that way inclined to wear whatever I really wanted and wear whatever obviously I love going by a fashion trend, but it wouldn't be like my holy grail or my Bible that I go by. I kind of like to mix things up, but it's definitely evolved, but I always think I'll always have like my little touch of, you know, Niamh or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what Niamh is, but like it's just my little touch of style, I think.
So then who inspired you? Like, you know, because I can imagine, like, you know, like that you're getting the ideas from somewhere, whether it's like, you know, you've seen it somewhere and then you're like, I want to recreate that, and this is how I recreate it. So was there anyone in particular, or was it just a lot of things?
There was probably like a lot of things. My mum was quite fashionable growing up, and I used to see her photos of her in like the 80s and even early 90s. Looking back, she was always like really glam, but like kind of like sports glam.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I get like my sporty touch from. But then me and like I have a best friend, Laura, like we were just nuts about fashion, like even getting ready for our discos or like our whatever we were going. We used to love it. But I think me growing up, I grew up around like Princess Diana and Jennifer Aniston, like really in like the mid to late 90s, where I just thought the fashion then was just iconic. Like Grace Jones, I was telling you before about her fur coat coming out of the airport. Claudia Schiffer, like I loved the Olsen twins. I think I kind of grew with them as a fashion, like, you know, went from like the butterfly clips in the hair to the boob tubes, then to like, you know, the little mini dresses to the oversized blazers, and they're kind of real dark and grungy now a little bit. But still love them, like they were huge fashion kind of inspirations for me. So yeah, I think anything, and still to this day, if I'm ever stuck at looking at my wardrobe, I'm like, oh God, what will I wear? I do always circle back to the 90s and think, what way can I rework something in my wardrobe? Like 90s have always been like such a nice fashion era for me that I remember, and then I kind of love, and I feel like I always have something in my wardrobe. And then obviously I loved the 80s with like the puffy shoulders. So I feel like I'm very kind of back in time with my fashion sometimes.
So who would be your inspiration now then? Or is it still kind of, or do you have a particular person, or?
Do I have a particular person? There's a few girls that I love. You know, I don't know, the founders of Rotate. They're really cool. I love this girl, Holly Mercedes. She's a little bit, she's just like really nice, funky. She's a Scottish influencer. She's really, really cool. Who else do I love? I love you actually, Aideen. Like your fashion is insane. And Courtney Smith, two stylists that I love. So I'll always like wander on your pages. And then like typically, you know, Hailey Bieber sometimes, like she can really never do any wrong. I'm dying to wear, I don't know if you saw her like neck scarf and hat at Coachella. I'm like, I can't do it at EP, can I?
No,
Maybe
you can. You can, yeah, definitely. I love that. And like, I'm dying to see somebody like that we know pull that off, and I feel like you could definitely pull that off. Okay, well, right, speaking of trends, right, I want you to rank these 3
trends out of 5 out of 10.
So clean girl aesthetic, Y2K or mob wife fashion?
Oh God,
1 out of 3.
One
1
out.
to 3, sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna put mob wife for number 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
Love
'cause-
that for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's because it's given the 90s that I love.
Yeah.
Now, whether I act on the mob wife through my fashion, you know, every day, probably not, but I love a mob wife moment. I just think it's,
Yeah.
I just love
Yeah.
it.
It's iconic.
It is, and
Yeah.
it's very much in the fashion world that I love, that era of the 90s. So yeah, mob wife number 1. It's so hard because I just said you know, there's parts of Y2K that I don't really. So I think like in between, like, but I'm not a clean girl either, but I do like the aesthetic, but it's not me.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll probably go clean girl 3
Okay, yeah.
and Y2K 2, or I don't know. Can I mix them? Can they be half?
Yeah, I think you can do whatever.
Mob wife number 1 though.
No, I do agree though. I love the clean girl aesthetic,
Yeah.
but I feel like it doesn't suit me as much as like going for a little bit more colour and, you know, being a
Yeah.
little bit more creative with,
I
with
agree.
my look. So then I feel like, okay, maybe I lean in towards the Y2K
Yeah.
fashion. So
Yeah, I think you do, and I like leaning into it. I just don't love it as do you know? I feel like you
Yeah,
can
as an
really dip
identity.
into it. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then I'm
yeah.
like, I don't really like exactly as an identity. You can see
Yeah.
people who have really thrown themselves into it, and they look amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I think it just reminds me of when I was younger, and I don't know, but I still love a touch of it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us a little bit about like styling then, like, you know, so what are your go-to pieces every day? Do you like to accessorize much?
Yeah, so I feel, in my personal opinion, you can have really, like, you can have a plain white dress on, a plain black dress on, like a shirt, and if you have the way your hair is, a lovely pair of sunglasses, jewelry, I feel like you can really dress the outfit up. So my favourite things in my wardrobe is probably my accessories and how I do my hair. So whether it be like slick back in a bun, or whether it be like, you know, bouncy curly blow dry, or whether it be, you know, in a high pony and putting it into a messy bun with bits down to be Pamela Anderson. I always feel like your hair, you can really do a lot with your hair and your accessories. So they would be like my favourite things to do. Mm-hmm. Like I love an oversized pinstripe shirt that you're wearing now.
Yeah,
I feel like that's never, I feel like it's here forever. It's never gonna.
Yeah, it's kind of like a uniform,
It
isn't
is,
it?
yeah. And I just feel like if you get the right one, you can like wear it as a dress. You can wear it tucked into jeans. You can wear it open with a pair of shorts or a skirt. Like there's so much things that you can do with a shirt.
But that's what you do really well, I feel, is
Yeah.
style these
Yeah.
looks. You know, you
Yeah.
can really
thank
tell,
you.
like, you know, there's, you know, wearing a shirt and then there's
Styling a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, probably my favorite thing to do is, and I remember when I first started, like on Instagram or Snapchat, it used to be a thing. Well, it was more for my shopaholic notions. It was like, if I look at this and I'm going to buy this, I have to wear it 3 ways. And it used to be a thing that I used to like say on Instagram and on my Snapchat days when they were a thing. And yeah, exactly, like with a shirt, wear it 3 ways. Pair of jeans, can you wear them 3 ways? Like, you know, a little dress, like, can you wear it casual, can you wear it dressed up? Like, they would be but the fave things in my wardrobe are the things that I've reworn differently and frequently, you know.
Yeah.
The comfortable things that I love styling up and down, and they look different to each outfit.
Have you got any like fashion red flags, whether it's, you know, if it's something that Jamie wears, or do you have a fashion red flag where you wouldn't go there?
Well, you know what annoys me, and I say this to my friends, when people wear white under white, when they're trying to, you have to wear nude under white for something to be nude. And a lot of people think that they get like a white bra or white underwear or white to cover something. It's actually nude that you need to wear.
That's such a good tip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's nude, not white.
Because like if you're buying a white dress, you'd probably just...
You'd think you'd get like white pants. No, you get nude, and you will never see them.
Okay, well, thanks so much, Niamh, for coming on today. We've really learned loads, and we're dying to see all the wedding content. And yeah, best of luck.
Thanks so much for having me.